exclusive content. Sports Radio 610. The Texans play here. An Odyssey sports station.
Sports Radio 610 presents Seth Payne and Sean Pendergast.
We coming to H-Town. Let's get the work in, man. Let's go.
Great day, great day. Oh, give me some juice, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it going, man. Happy Football Friday.
Juice.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Byron, where are you at? Let's go.
What's going on today? It's Texans football.
It's go.
Yeah.
No, give us the music, Byron. Be music. Musica. Give it to us. Yeah. Higher, please. Thank you. Football Friday, baby. How you doing, Seth?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I found myself a little overstimulated this morning.
You are?
Overstimulated this morning.
Okay.
Because I was, the music still too loud?
Yeah, it's a little too loud.
There we go.
Yeah, all right.
Byron's filling in for Ben this morning.
Yeah.
And Sean's asking him to do 18 things all at once.
We talked about this before the show. I'm not the bad guy in this situation.
Hey, that's my
Ben
bad.
Gary
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was overstimulated. I was like, oh, there's so much going on there. We had preseason games last night.
Yep.
We've got the Texans versus the Steelers tonight, which I think is going to be more of a true, at least first quarter simulation of an actual game than these last two preseason games we saw. Tomlin's got to figure out what he has in Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And he said, this is where it gets exciting for me, for at least the first quarter. He said that the in-game stuff matters more in his evaluation of Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. So the Texans defense, even though it makes no difference to us really in the grand scheme of things, I like that we can actually if we play poorly with this highly celebrated defense that hasn't actually stepped on a field yet, by just determining the quarterback race in Pittsburgh. If Justin Fields goes out there and looks hapless and lost, the job is all but Russell Wilson's.
Yep.
But yet I'm pulling for Justin Fields. I'm torn, Sean. It's a preseason game that doesn't matter. But I really, for the sake of the Texans' defense being all that has been promised, I think I need them to go out and create 2 turnovers, have Justin Fields go like 1 for 7 for 7 total yards passing and an interception. It needs to be an ugly performance by Justin Fields.
Yeah, that is one of the big reasons to watch or listen to this game tonight is that quarterback battle. And we're going to get into all the Texans angles with this thing. But with you bringing that up, Seth, it's really interesting to watch Tomlin operate with all this because Russell Wilson's hurt right now. He's got a calf injury. So Justin Fields is going to start this game. And all the talk when they hired Russell Wilson was, like, from the day they signed him is he's going to be our starter. This was before they traded for Justin Fields. And even when they traded for Justin Fields, there was this narrative that Justin Fields had to kind of accept that he was at least going to start out as the backup in this situation. And, boy, this is Justin Fields, I don't know if he's taking a chance or taking a risk or whatever, but you can tell from Tomlin that maybe whatever promises were made to Russell Wilson, I feel like were made a level above him on the org chart. Like this was Omar Khan and the GM just getting the deal done to get Russell Wilson in the building by telling him he'll be the starter. Because Tomlin the other day was like, Russell Wilson is basically the starter. Like, when he was asked about Russell Wilson being the starter, he's like, well, just look at the depth chart. And then as you point out, he's like, no, the games matter more than the practices. I feel like Mike Tomlin wants Justin Fields to be the starter. I feel like Mike Tomlin thinks Russell Wilson was kind of fed to him.
Well, Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin couldn't be different in terms of personality matches.
My point, yes.
Tomlin's as real as they come, where Russell Wilson, he's not always been embraced by his teammates or the public at large as real. I wouldn't call him real. He's got an inauthentic vibe to him. Yeah. Like Mike Tomlin and A-Rod. Would Mike Tomlin and Alex Rodriguez have gotten along if A-Rod were a football player? Chance. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's nothing about Russell Wilson that screams Steeler. So, and I'm not saying that Justin Fields screams Steeler, but I do wonder, especially if you're Tomlin, man, and you're thinking, despite the fact that he's been there forever and it seems like he's got a job for life, there's got to be that part of him that's kind of like, man, I'm not done by a long shot. And I see some good in Justin Fields, and I'd love to develop that. And Tomlin said that Justin Fields has made progress with his footwork. His footwork has always been very erratic. And despite how talented Justin Fields is, he's been very inconsistent because he's got erratic mechanics and footwork because he's gotten away with it.
Yep.
So it sounds like, just like we've seen so many other times with various other athletes, sometimes when they get traded or they get cut for the first time, it's kind of that reality check where they realize, okay, I got to change some things. And maybe Justin Fields has figured some things out and he ends up being the better version of himself in this offense. Because the other part of it too is that, like, Russell Wilson, whose skill set is known at this point, his skill set doesn't really match up and jive well with Arthur Smith's offense. Arthur Smith is the new offensive coordinator. And Arthur Smith loves taking deep shots over the middle, or just like the Texans, feasting on the intermediate stuff over the middle. That's never really been Russell Wilson's strong suit. He's compensated for his lack of height by kind of throwing touch balls to the outside, scrambling outside the pocket, rolling out, doing all that kind of stuff. So it's fascinating to me. And I don't know if most Texans fans care about it at all or not, but for me, it's one of the biggest storylines of this preseason.
It is around the league. It's one of the biggest storylines of the preseason. So this isn't you just conjuring up some smoke from some team with some team the Texans happen to be playing this weekend to give another reason to watch. It is one of the biggest storylines in the league is that quarterback battle in Pittsburgh. And I think, man, when you lay it out too, Seth, and this brings it kind of back to the Texans, like you watch this Pittsburgh thing playing out. And for me, I just feel so fortunate that we found a quarterback because the Steelers are in this pickle because they drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round. And who are they going to get? Another guy who washed out a first-round pick from Chicago. Like the Steelers and, half the league are on that gerbil wheel now where they're just scratching two sticks together with former first-round picks, trying to find something. And this goes back to last night for me. There were two games last night. So I sat down in my chair and I watched the Patriots and the Panthers, and I needed bleach to rub my eyes out afterwards because it was so bad. But
it was bad.
It was horrible.
The Panthers are starting their third or fourth string quarterback.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why is Bryce Young not playing why is Bryce Young getting some sort of preseason treatment right now? What is that?
Good question. Right? Well, I guess because he's tiny. You have to protect him at all costs.
Protect him. But here's the thing from last night's game that reminds me of the gerbil wheel for QBs here is that the Patriots are one of those teams right now
If you could confidently face every day knowing you and your loved ones are protected, would you sing along to your favorite song at the top of your lungs? Turn off the GPS and let your heart do the guiding. Go to the drive-thru and order one of everything. Feel the buzz of confidence of knowing you are protected with 65 years of insect science in your hands. Raid. Protection for everyone.
Sorry, but we...
in the open to the show, and maybe he finds a second life in Pittsburgh. And I love the Kyle Lowry analogy that you made. Kyle Lowry, hey, he needed to get knocked down, traded, and moved to Toronto before he became a multi-time All-Star, maybe borderline Hall of Famer. As many times as he was on an All-Star team, he was on a championship team in Toronto. Anyways, You said, what are some other examples out there?
Well, and the key there is that Kyle Lowry said that, I needed that kick in the butt.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be the same guy if I had stayed with the Rockets.
I don't know that this guy said this, but, and this was, I'll give credit to a texter, 7330, said, change of scenery